Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and this is Massive Darkness. Now, in the last video, there was a couple of comments that came through that were really good. Some things that were caught that I want to talk about before we go forward. Now, just so you guys know, I'm going to be retroactively kind of rewinding the tape, essentially, a little bit from what happened at the end of the last game, and I'll explain it as we go, so don't worry. I know you guys are seeing the Ogre Mage here, probably wondering how did that come back on the board, and also don't worry about the health here and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to explain where we're at right now. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the fact that in the last video, we actually received a card in that video that was a potion, essentially called a Guillotine Potion. And if I can find it quickly, yes, it's right here. This is the one we discarded at a certain point in the last video that allowed me to get one extra action to be used right away. When I did so, I did it for only one movement action. And what I didn't actually catch, and I knew this, but I totally forgot in the moment, because down here in the special skill category on Whisper, she has the ability to get one extra movement point per movement action. So I would have never had to spend that Guillotine Potion in order to just get a movement point. So I'm gonna retroactively take this back and put it into her inventory as something to use. Now, the funny thing is, we have to kind of rewind things in our brain to that point in time. So at that point in time, the Ogre Mage was still in play. This would have been, Whisper would have done all the attacks I had done in the last video, but now I would actually have this potion to use to do an extra attack. So at this point right now, I could try to attack before Elias at the end of the last video did his zap. So let's have Whisper do that attack, because I think the first off, attacking this particular Ogre Mage in close proximity is a wise choice, because it doesn't trigger his defensive ability to heal himself, and that's something that's huge, an issue when we get to the Wizard, which we'll talk about in a second. So let's go ahead and do our other attack. So I'm going to spend the Guillotine Potion, and this is how I should have spent it in the last video, to be totally honest. So I do apologize for those who saw me do it using it for a move action when I didn't need to, or for a movement point, I should say. So we're going to take this and throw it, and we are going to go ahead and grab our dice. Now, we're using Whisper, so we've got 2 yellow dice, as we know. And so we'll bring it right down here so you guys can see. And of course, with the Ogre Mage, 2 green dice for defense. And we know with our Shadow Mode ability, our first attack, and this technically, let me see here really quick. So our first attack already happened. So this is going to be a regular attack. We're not going to have any bonuses this time. No Shadow Mode on this one whatsoever, because this is going to be happening. I'm doing this retroactively, and I'm also doing this as an attack at the very end. It's considered kind of like I've already burnt all my attacks with Whisper. That's why there's damage here. And now the very last action was to get rid of the potion and go ahead and attack. So in other words, Master of Shadows, the free class skill, does not trigger, and all this kind of stuff won't actually happen. And we're also not standing in a shadow location. So this is going to be just a straight up attack, hoping for the best. And, you know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly what we wanted. It does say, or I do have the option here. No, I don't. Never mind. Shadow Slippery. Yeah, nothing's going to really help me right now. So that's kind of sad, actually. So that's going to basically be a wash, because the BAMs don't mean anything for our defender, and the 2 attacks or 2 swords actually get washed out by that defense dice. So this attack becomes null and void. So that's fine. I mean, it was kind of sad because we ended up spending a potion for that, but that is what it is. What it is. So now we're going to move over to Elias, our Battle Wizard. Now, in the last video at the very end, again, because we're doing this retroactively, Elias had already done the zap attack. When I rolled that attack, I'm not re-rolling that one, because again, anything I've already done, I'm not taking back that way. And I rolled this right here. I rolled a 2 sword and 1 BAM type hit. Now, when I rolled that at the time, I threw 3 damage on the Ogre Mage, and we killed him. That was incorrect. And the reason it's incorrect, and it's a little bit weird, is that it's essentially the special skill, which is called Zap, is actually not considered an attack based on the rules in the game. So, in other words, BAMs can't be used to enhance your attack. You have to just go with your swords. It's obviously an attack that has no defense against it based on reading this right here. But it's just good to know. It handles itself a little bit differently. So basically, I said, oh, I got 3 swords in the last video. Actually, it was 2. So we actually put 2 damage on him. And like I said, I'm not re-rolling that hit, because that would be breaking my my own personal rules about you know, bending rules and things like that. So I've got it to 7. Now the thing is, he's not dead, and this is where we get into trouble, and this is essentially where we can pick it up exactly where we were in the last video at the very end, is right now. The only difference being he's got 7 health and he's still on the board. We still have 3 actions with our wizard. So the question really becomes, do we attack from distance and give the Ogre Mage the chance to actually get BAMs and diamonds to heal itself? If it starts healing itself, it becomes an uphill battle and one that's not going to be all that fun to try to deal with. The other thing I could do, which is also, you know, it might be worth my while, is actually potentially use teleport to get past the Ogre Mage. So in other words, I could activate him by using a move action. So I could say move him to here, then I could teleport past him to get to here. And then from here, I could open a door, I could then move, and I could start dealing with this area, almost ignoring him completely because I don't have melee items on the wizard whatsoever. And I also don't feel like wasting actions trading to get weapons too. I'd rather just have Whisper continue to be the focal point of the attacks. And the fact that Elias is actually very, very hurt, and it would be kind of dumb in my instance right now to attempt to you know, do an attack where I can risk anything happening to him. I need to actually have Elias heal. So if I get a magic BAM based on the skill that I unlocked in the last video, the hero or one ally in line of sight may heal one. So that's cool when I start attacking other people. Plus, of course, my defense for armor life and wooden ring are going to come into play. And that's something else to talk about right now, is that in the last video, I should have actually had a heal happen because of the armor of life and wooden ring that I didn't do. So that's going to be at 2. And now we're all squared away. So I'm going to actually go ahead now and activate Elias. He's going to make his movement of 1 and 2. Now he's considered essentially engaged with this enemy. He couldn't technically leave the spot. But with my teleport skill of 2, I'm able to leave. So I'm going to teleport past him. When I do this, now that I'm in this next level, this flips to 2 now. And then this one over here becomes 1. So now everything we're going to be pulling now is going to be coming from the guard 2 card. So that's very important to note. Things have gotten a little bit more intense. But they've also activated the fact that we're able to get some actual abilities from the level 2 column. Now, that's another thing I clarified in the comment in the last video, is that you can still purchase any of these types of abilities. You can purchase in advance before you can actually get them, but you have to be on level 2 to use them. So I can spend 5 XP to get these next, I can spend 5 XP to get max health, or 1 plus max health, sorry, or something like this. But at the end of the day, I can't use it until we get to level 2, and we just did that. So now we're good, and I did my move action, my move action, and I used 2 move activity to go to here. Then I used my teleport to get to here. Teleport was free. It's my class skill for my battle wizard, and then I'm going to go ahead now and start cracking doors. So second action is going to be to use another action right now to crack this door open. And of course, when we do open a door, you always have to resolve a door card. So let's find out what's inside. All right, so we got no enemies but 3 chests. So we're gonna have 3 chests in the first spot. That's good, nice clump of treasure. In the second one, we spawn a guard card. So let's grab the guard card here. We got ourselves some Orc Enforcers. Okay, so these guys are gonna be a mob. They're coming at us. They fully heal. Oh geez, they actually have quite a few little abilities there. And they have some decently strong dice. Now we're also gonna have to grab ourselves a level 2 treasure card. So that's the other thing that changes when you go to level 2, is even the treasure cards go up. And it's a King's Crown. Oh, that's pretty cool. What does that do? It says, if I can get it to focus, attack, defender -1. So attack on BAMs, defender gets -1 shield. That's awesome. Per equipped card of the King's set. King's Crown, King's Mace, King's Armor. Very cool. So you collect this set, essentially, you can have some pretty powerful stuff. That would be really good in a story mode campaign. So again, this is good. It's not going to beef up his stats, so it's actually kind of a good one to have on him. It's just an item, so he's essentially just holding on to the King's Crown. It's not going to give him any benefits. But hey, it's a nice treasure or loot to get. We don't want to also forget about the 2 treasure that drops in the same spot that we're in, or that same spot that we're supposed to put the guards down. So the Orc Enforcer obviously shows up here. So that's going to be this guy right here. It's going to be our mob boss. And then we're going to have 2 of his enforcers with him, trailing behind him. So we've got a bunch of them. Again, we're always fighting those mob guys first, but they are right there, ready to rock. I probably should have taken the card out from underneath them. Okay, and all right, perfect. So now we've got that all organized. We'll move on to the next room in this wonderful maze. And this one has no enemies as well. The last back room doesn't have any enemies, but it has 2 treasure chests to pick up. So that's awesome. Some more stuff to look through. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think we got it all covered, so now we can take this door card and we're gonna chuck it to the side, and of course I still get to go. So I had started my second action here by opening the door, which is 1 movement point. I still have a movement point, so I'm gonna bring myself into this room right here. This is where it gets fun because now technically I only have 1 action left, and I think it makes sense to attack. And the reason is because I kind of want them to fight me because I want to try to heal, and my healing comes from a result from actually making an attack and or defending against it based on my skills. So let's just get to this and have our battle wizard make an attack. Now I'm gonna have to focus on the little guys first. We'll be killing them off, but it's 2 yellow dice for me. And then the enemies are going to get 1 blue dice. So not that much for them, so that's good. And all of their stuff has to do with attacking, so a lot of their enhancements are not going to beef them up at all, really, during this encounter. So that's good to know. Here we go, here's the roll. Here's hoping for good thing, because I only get 1 shot at this. Let me think about this, actually. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, there we go. Not bad. So we ended up getting, okay, so we ended up getting 2 swords. Sorry for the focus there. We ended up getting 2 swords and 1 shield. It's a little bit fuzzy. I don't know why. It's probably the lighting. My apologies. I've messed up the focus here. Come back to me. And sorry guys, making you guys all sick. I don't know why the focus has gone awry, but it has, and we're back. Okay, that's good. Okay, sorry about that. So we have 2 swords and a shield that basically came out of that. So that's going to be no zaps involved, or no enhancements whatsoever involved. So that's just a straight hit. Straight hit on them is enough to do 1 damage. Oh, geez, there are 3. Ooh, that's tough. That's very tough. Wow, that's really high. I was not excited. I didn't notice that. Those guys are actually pretty strong. Geez. That's going to take some serious effort to kill those guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put 1 heart on the Orc Enforcers just for now to note that I'm kind of hitting them down. It wasn't enough to obviously kill them. Let's see, that's pretty much it. So we're done. Now the only other thing I can think of is we want to take a look at our shadow mode skill and stuff like that, because we would get this BAM if we're in shadow, but sadly we're in a room with a light, so we're not. Although this one's saying is Ring of Shadow, a hero is considered to be in shadow mode in his first attack. This is not my first attack. Actually, no, it actually is. Never mind, it is. The Ring of Shadow does activate because the zap was not considered an attack and then the rest was all movement. So that was actually in the shadows. So by having the Ring of Shadow, I was in the shadows, which means I do get this BAM. And if I get this BAM, it actually gives me a boost on my attack, or I can use it for magic. The hero or 1 ally in line of sight may heal 1. I'm absolutely going to heal 1 with that. So I'm up to 3, which is going to help me to handle what's coming next, which is a counterattack. So this counterattack is going to come against, obviously, the wizard. It's going to be a yellow and a red. And so when they activate, of course, they're going to move. So again, we're going to have them activate. They're going to try to attack in this area. They can't, but they're going to try to get close to me now. So they're going to come into the same area as me because they're melee characters. So I've drawn their attention. And they're going to try to hit me from here. So this is going to be interesting. So it's going to be yellow and a red die against me. And my wizard has 1 blue die, which is really terrible compared to Whisper. So here's hoping I can block this, because this could be bad. This could be very, very bad. I do have healing though, so let's go. Oh wow, I got a great roll there. So we ended up getting, that's amazing. Okay, so let's see what happens for their BAMs. So the BAMs on the Orc Enforcers give them +1 sword. So we can essentially call this 3 swords. The yellow is no go for anything. On my side, I ended up getting 2 shields. And essentially on defense, if I get a BAM, I can heal 1. So that, I mean, it would be silly of me not to. In terms of, yeah, so it actually makes perfect sense to actually use my BAM for my ability right here on defense. The hero may heal 1, so I'm absolutely going to pop myself up to 4, which is good. And then I'm going to I probably will be just taking the extra damage. So basically it just kind of negates itself, but I'm just checking to see if there's anything else I can do here. I do have the wooden ring on defense, automatically gives me a BAM, but you can't use the same ability for, you can't use 2 BAMs on this and get 2 heals. That's part of the rule book, unless the actual ability specifically states that, and it doesn't. One thing it does say, this is magic though, and I wasn't using magic because I was on defense. So yeah, there's nothing else I can do. So essentially what ends up happening is I heal 1 and then they hit me for 1, so I'm back to 3. And that's essentially that wrapped up. So with that now done, we've actually finished our entire turn, and we're gonna move to the enemy phase, which is gonna be have our enemies attack back at us. So the Ogre Mage is obviously quite intent on attacking a Whisper, who's right here. So let's get that out of the way. So it's gonna be 2 yellow dice and 1 red die. And then we're going to be taking, this is going to be kind of nasty, and then Whisper on defense, we get 3 blue dice. I keep forgetting that 3 blue dice is so good. It's such a massive bump up from the Battle Wizard. So here we go, hoping I can handle this attack. And okay, so we got 3 swords, I got 3 shields. That's probably more than enough than I need. That's pretty good. Let's see what happens here. Defense. I already get a shield from my plate armor, so I'm already far and away safe that way. He has no BAMs or essentially any enhancements whatsoever coming from the Ogre Mage, so that's good. So it's really, the enemy got 3 hits against us, which is good. We blocked all of them. Can I use the BAM now is the question. The BAMs at this point on defense only give me more shields, so that's really useless for me. So no, can't use the BAM for anything advantageous for me. So that's essentially it, but hey, we blocked it, no damage whatsoever. That's good. Now we're going to move over to, we'll do the Orcan forces against them. So essentially another attack, so yellow and red against the Battle Wizard. So 1 die, 1 blue die. This one's the sketchy one, the one I'm always scared about. Oh, and there we go. That's the stuff you don't want to see. Okay, so at this point, what we have is not good things. So if you take a look, the BAM is going to bump their attack up 1, like we talked about before. So now it's there at 4. I do have 1 shield, which is not a lot. So what's going to happen is I'll be able to block. So essentially, I negate this one. They have 3 hits coming against me. I didn't get a BAM, but I have a wooden ring, and on defense I get a BAM. And with that BAM, I'm then going to use it to heal 1 with the Armor of Life. So it's going to pump me up to 4. And then we're going to have to suck up and take some damage. We take 3 damage, and with that 1 that I just got, we actually are back to 1, and I'm still alive somehow. That's insane. Okay, so I almost died there, but thankfully the wooden ring combination with the Armor of Life is keeping me alive, just barely. So now we're starting a brand new turn, so it actually comes over to the Battle Mage's, the Battle Wizard's turn as the first player. Oh, sorry, actually, my mistake. We have to go to the experience phase because we want to buy things first. So both of our characters have 5 experience, so we can go ahead and do some purchasing. So I'm going to spend 5 right now because I know that I'm already itching to purchase something else. The question now is what should we get? This one says so we're going to look at some level 2 stuff now. So we have one that says +1 max health. That's good. Attack is +1 wound if the defender has no shields. I like the max health one. So I'm going for max health. I want to have an extra health, so that's going to bump him up to 6, but I don't believe when you get this skill that you actually get to bump it to 6. It just says your max health goes to 6. So I think what will end up happening is I will, and I can double check this outside of this video, but I believe now I have the capability of going and healing up to this 6th level when I finally do. Now over here on the Battle Wizard side, I'm going to spend 5. I have a lot of XP with this guy. And I'm going to have the same thing happen. I want probably max health. Is there something else that's good though? Shadow Mode attack. Blank results get a BAM. It's useful, I guess. It's not like amazing. I already get lots of BAMs. I don't know if that's a good one for me. This one could be really good, the Fireball, but the Fireball. It's just I don't have high enough dice rolls with my Scepter and Staff right now to be making use of that one, and I could possibly buy it in the future. So maybe I hold off on those 2 because I don't think I have the dice capable of getting those many BAMs. So I think the 1+ max health makes the most logical, choice. And again, like I said, with the other one, I'm going to check to see whether or not I should actually increase my health when I get this unlocked, but I really don't think I should. I'll have to double check that in the rules. And then we're going to go ahead and move to the event phase. This is where things probably get bad for me really quick. Okay, oh no, roaming monster. Oh no, sorry, there is a roaming monster in play. Whew. So it activates. I guess that's not bad. If not, you spawn one, place the enemy, blah, blah, blah. So basically, we have a activating roaming monster, which is this guy. So he's going to activate and get very aggressive with the Ogre Mage. So we're going to have to deal with that now. So let's have the Ogre Mage attack Whisper. Yikes. So 2 yellow, 1. And I guess this is, at the end of the day, whenever I say yikes with this one, it's actually not that bad. Whisper has she's got quite the ability to block much of the pain that gets thrown at her. So she's probably the one I should be happy to defend against. This time it didn't really pan out for me. I do have something here that says defense may re-roll one of the attack dice 1 additional time. I could use that to do something. I don't know. It might be worth it to roll one of these unless I was to get a BAM. I might do it. I don't know if it's worth it though. I'm only taking 2 damage as of right now, so that's really not that bad. 2 damage. Ugh, I should probably re-roll one. The worst case is I'll get this, and there's only a 1, and so it's a gamble. I'm hoping for a blank face or this. So let's just do it. Let's do it for fun. See what happens. Okay, nothing happened. All right, perfect. So you end up taking 2 damage. Whisper goes down to 3. That was happening regardless. I couldn't have done anything about it, and that ends the event phase. We now move into the end phase where we take our token and we give it over to the next player. All right, so Elias is going to start. So this is where we're going to end the video right here, guys. This is currently what we've got set up. I want you guys in the comments below to let me know if you think of any strategy you would like to see me pull out. And now also remember that our wonderful wizard here is starting first, is in with a whole bunch of enemies who are super high on the health side of things. They have 3 health, which is pretty nasty. And so that's going to be quite a bit to get through, and I think our wizard's going to have a little bit of a tough time. We kind of need to get Whisper in there as fast as possible. It's too bad that Whisper goes second in this round, so that's not good. And of course, our battle wizard's down to 1 health, so if he initiates anything, he's really got to hope to get some BAMs on his magic attacks to use Life Siphon. Otherwise, he's going to be in some serious trouble on counterattacks. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough. Hopefully the first 5 minutes of this video cleared up some of the confusion in the last one. Again, it didn't really, nothing that happened in that confusion was really all that jaw-dropping, but some of the stuff that was told to me through the comments and stuff like that was really, really good. So I thought it made sense to play that out, and it actually ended up having the Ogre Mage actually stick around a little longer than we may have wanted. But at the same time, I could have also, on my own, I chose to not have the Battle Wizard attack the Ogre Mage, but that was on me. That's my choice. So I don't know. I mean, I could have tried taking shots at him, but remember, his healing abilities would have likely seen him go from, 7 to maybe 5 or, 6 health, and it just would have made time tougher for Whisper. My hope in the next video is that Whisper will just be able to wipe the Ogre Mage out in 1 hit, maybe 1 attack, and then quickly get into this room with Elias and help him out right away, because we need her to get moving, and we also need to get the Ogre Mage back off the board again. So anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. I am. It's just a ton of fun. There's a lot to keep track of on camera, so I do apologize sometimes if I miss some things, but I'm doing my best to keep track of it all. So hope you guys are enjoying. If you saw anything I missed, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Keep on rolling solo.